Hello, my name is Frances Fox. I'm a trained remote viewer and I am skilled because of extensive training since I was a child in all the psychic abilities. Everything that I have done in my lifetime, this lifetime, has to do with what's going on today, which is a critical moment in human history. It's when there is an excess of the fire element, which we can see in all the images about the apocalypse. At the same time, the planet is supposed to shift into another cycle and go through an ascension process. There's only been one group of people that have done the ascension process gracefully, um, without trauma, and that was the Mayans. Everybody else who tried, whenever it was that they were supposed to ascend as a group, a civilization, failed, including what happened in Atlantis when it went under the waters. We've been trying for the last several years to track down the information the Mayans had and tried to leave for us, in order to be able to duplicate what they did. What we have found, and I think it's the bottom line, is that they had training since infancy for the human being to be in contact with and in union with the physical body plus the spirit body, which is your astral emotional body. Your astral body is composed of astral particles of emotion. So everybody knows we have an astral body that astral travels. They're not aware that it is the spirit that people see when the physical body dies that it releases for the last time. So the Mayans trained the children since infancy to be at one with their spirit, their astral body. When they say, may the force be with you, what they're saying is, we hope that you, your physical body, and your spirit, your astral body, are one, because then you will be very powerful. In Hinduism, it is known that astral particles are a force, and they are. What is it that we're doing? Interesting that my numbers are dropping dramatically in X. I'm not sure if that's actually happening or if somebody has determined. Here, shall we? Come on. My dog would like to be with us, which means I'm probably on a subject that I should not be on. So it doesn't really matter what my numbers are or what people think of what I have to say. There's an expression that we've been using for years about me in the Spanish community, Hispanic community, which is la loca no está tan loca. The crazy lady's not so crazy. Because once time goes by, the stuff that I have said has practically always panned out, played out, been proven to be true. So it doesn't really matter. This is my job. This is my mission. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, and we will do it regardless. So going back to the bad news, that big eye is an eye of consciousness. Most of us have our eye of consciousness low in our solar plexus, which is called the garbage can of emotions. Jesus Christ on the cross, where you have the crossbar, that is at, I believe, the heart chakra level, which is where we should have our eye of consciousness. Children that are Down syndrome have their eye of consciousness in their third eye. They're not real functional on the physical dimension. So once you get past here, your eye of consciousness, and you get to the upper energy centers, you don't become as functional on the physical dimension, which is interesting. So that eye of consciousness are beings from off planet. And on the 21st or the 22nd, in an opening in the Earth's aura, millions of those eyes came in, and they're poised to invade people's assemblage of bodies, physical, etheric, astral, mental, and the Merkaba, which is the vehicle for astral galactic travel. These are all envelopes of consciousness that our consciousness, which is a nectar, is poured into. I'll put the graph up a minute, and then we'll go ahead and get into taking care of ourselves. Information is great, but transformation is much more important. Those are the bodies. The gold one is your spirit. It's your astral body. It's magnetic. So emotions are magnetic. And that is very important to remember, because though that eye of consciousness, those millions that invade, well, there's billions of people on the planet, no? Those that invaded the planet or came in, they're going to invade people. They are going to invade due to law of attraction, having to do with how much you are holding either rage or depression. Those are two emotions, and they are magnetic in nature. And in this case, the eyes are not red, they're black, which means that depression, people that are depressed are the ones that are going to be more susceptible. Even though depression and rage are supposed to be the same energy, rage is when you throw it out of you and you direct it out, and depression is when you bring it in. I suspect that a lot of people who are very, very angry, if you go deeper, they're extremely depressed, and they're using the anger to vitalize themselves. Regardless, if you have an excess of emotions, you are going to be a target. You're going to be vulnerable. You yourself are going to draw that to you. And the only fault we can find is that you didn't have the information to know that. So we will, as usual, because you all start out, all of our sessions have started out with the mind strings hanging through depression. We're going to start today, as usual, with the mantra for depression, so that we can, give me 1 second, so that we can deal with that. Give me a second. I always do the same thing. Here it is. We found out that we need to first purify this negativity before we get into trying to create something positive, such as peace in the world, which we can create if we purify the hate and the fear. So we'll get into that at the end. So the mantras are repeated in silence in the mind. I'm putting up the mantra. And we choose a sensory therapy video that we have that will support the mantra. It's the one, as I say, for the solar plexus, the garbage can of emotions, which is where most of us have our eye of consciousness. In other words, this eye we have in our solar plexus, which is the part of us that controls digestion, liver, pancreas. That's why I'm sure the doctors are going crazy with the number of people who have digestive issues, and they're not able to help them as much as they might have been able to help them previously. So let's go ahead. The mantras are repeated in silence. You expel your breath through your mouth. Let me make my dog a little bit more comfortable. And I want you to self-assess yourself now. Between 1 and 10, how do you feel? 1 is you ready to slit your wrists, and 10 is you feel like $1 million. And then I want you to look at the famous gold dress, and we'll do this every time, because that way you'll be able to compare and not attribute it to something else. Here, it looks very gold to me. Some people see it blue and black, which means your vibration is low. You are going to have problems with those beings. What do? They come into your assemblage of bodies. Let me put they come in because this gold body, which is your emotional body, has basically separated, which they call disassociation in psychology. And in the Lord's Prayer, the original version in Aramaic, it doesn't say deliver us from evil. The Lord's Prayer in Aramaic is very empowering. The Lord's Prayer that we're taught makes us victims. In Aramaic, it says, help us to be in the present, which means, ask any psychologist. Ask Eckhart Tolle, is that his name? Which is the focus, his entire focus is that. Not disassociated. Right here, all your bodies are together. You're not mentally wandering. You're not ADD. You're not ADHD. Your mind is not something else. You're not worried about something else. You are in the moment. So knowing that, you need to grab on to everything that has to do with rooting and grounding and the element of earth. But let's go ahead. Let's start with the mantra, and I will sketch and I'll show you on camera what it is. You're doing good. This is how we started. Then we went to opening the third eye and lots of crying, but pink. We're not just crying for ourselves, we're crying for the world. And we should. It's complicated. And then at the end, those are other people, but our third eyes are merging. And I want to remind you that before we came into planet Earth, which we came from other places, the whole thing are the ETs are not as so silly. But before we came in, we were group soul, the way animals are. Animals individualize if they have somebody that owns them or takes care of them. They individualize and they get characteristics that help in their relationship with a human. And when they die, they go back to group soul. Before they're born, they're in group soul. And a lot of them are group soul, even while they're alive on planet Earth. When we came into the planet, we individualize. We come in through this part of us, this energy center, the throat chakra. And this is almost like we're in the process of merging group soul again. And this can be a really interesting because you can start to feel what other people are feeling, see what it is that they're seeing. It's not just you, and what you see. It becomes a collective. And we are in the age of Aquarius, and that's where we're supposed to be going. It's very interesting. Very interesting, this graphic. So let's go ahead and go into the mantra for world peace and prosperity. Miraculous peace and miraculous prosperity. That's what we're looking for. And here's the mantra. And check out how you're feeling from 1 to 10. And I was doing just the miraculous peace, which is reducing hate and fear. But I want to go into the prosperity because I think maybe a lot of us will be hit with issues of prosperity before we complete this ascension process. We are obviously in some kind of a process. Now, what this is when you get very light. You all came in today, or most of you, it's the communal sketch is this. That would have you very heavy. And then you get light. And that getting lighter and lighter and lighter is the ascension process till it reaches the point where the heaviness of a physical body, you no longer have to have that. You're not there anymore. In metaphysics, it is said that when we are born is when we die. It's so tough to have to do life on the physical dimension with the physical body. And that when we die, that is when we really start to live. And that's because our spirit body, which is our astral emotional body, can be in many places at one time, can shift like this, doesn't ever lose loved ones. Because when we lose a loved one, it's because they lost their physical body. But if you never, or you don't have physical bodies, you don't have that issue. There's also no time in the other dimensions when you get past the physical. So it's not like you're going to age. You're not going to age. You can be whatever it is that you want. Your mind creates your reality, but it creates it instantly. You don't have to wait for 10 years for your plan to come through, etc. It's very interesting, much easier than having a physical body. There's a reason for having a physical body, and we're not going to go into that. So here's your mantra, and I'm going to go ahead and get the appropriate music video, which is the trilling one. And you repeat the mantra in silence. You expel the breath through your mouth, and we can do 15 minutes. And then we'll check ourselves. And I'm a much happier camper now that we came up with these wonderful sketches, because honestly, if you look at the news, it seems like there's no way out. Well, perhaps there is no way out. Perhaps there is too much that we're angry at, too many people we're angry at, too much we're depressed about. But more than that, perhaps the institutions and our processes and the way we do things on planet Earth is no longer appropriate. And that is what's happening. It's no longer appropriate. Community is what's appropriate. And I go back to the whole thing with Elon Musk and the way he does business. He has been able, through sheer wisdom, because it's not luck, to set up things that are in keeping with the paradigm to where we should all be able to be happy. And the only reason he makes that much money, in addition to being a genius, yes, is because he loves what he's doing. If you don't love what you're doing, you ain't going to make it the way you want. Not going to happen. Okay? So we have a mantra for that. I'll give it to you right now. Please, God, help me with my intention to miraculously align with my prosperous mission. You know what? We're going to do 5 minutes when we finish this. Okay? But first, let's do this. check yourself from 1 to 10 where you're at. I already put in the gold dress. I'm going to put now the mantra for your mission. I'm a little bit afraid to put the music that I want to put, which is jungle music, so different from this, but I'm going to do it. And you can check the difference. The other one is so soothing, and this other one vitalizes you. Here's the mantra. This is the mantra where I noticed the biggest, or people tell me is the biggest difference, and that it changes their life. I put this up on my website. I was surprised people weren't getting back to me. This video that I did with this mantra, people weren't getting back to me at all. And then I asked a couple of people, did you see that video with the mission mantra? They said, yeah, it changed my life. But nobody got back to me to tell me that. I thought, what happened? So this can change your life. Particularly in this part of the world, what you do for a living can make a big difference in how you feel. It's not something that you can put aside once you get home. Okay, so I'm going to put the appropriate music, okay, which is jungle music. So we're going to do 5 minutes of this, and I'll sketch you after that. But I am much happier because I can see how quickly we can all change and drop that depression that was huge because those mind streams actually reached the floor and then doubled back. 5 minutes. last sketch. Happy and hopeful. That mantra on mission, you need to pass it out to everyone. And when I work with groups and companies bring me in, I say to them, you need to be happy. And maybe the job that you're in right now is not your favorite in the world, but this mantra can keep you satisfied until you find your favorite job in the world, except this mantra will help you to find it much more quickly and to ensure that it is prosperous and that is your mission, aligned with your mission. So you're going to love it. When you love what you do, you tend to make a ton more money. I'm happy I did this chat today. I came into it very depressed. I watched entirely too much news today. It's very difficult not to be triggered to this incredible levels of rage because we're all feeling so impotent at everything that's going on. But you have two choices. You allow yourself to be triggered into a negative emotional response, or you're triggered into a negative emotional response and then you take care of it. I'm not sure you can do enough talking with a therapist to take care of what's going on today. I think you have to do mantras. And if you find something more effective, you need to let us know, because this is a community and we're all supposed to learn from each other. I love you a lot. I feel a lot better about life. Thank you for joining us, and we will be here tomorrow again.